Oh, hello everybody. Hello, all you Facebookers and YouTubers and other internet peoples, my friends and associates and curiosity seekers. Hey, this is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Turned into a rainy Friday afternoon. I was out there just working up the storm, concentrating, and man, that first clap of thunder came. Whoo-wee. Like this scared me to death. But what I wanted to talk about today, oh boy, I know some of you are saying, oh boy, he's back in front of his computer again. Let me back out of this here photograph. This SUV here is a Saab. I didn't know there was such a thing. And this is a return vehicle. And let me tell you what, folks, this is a hot rod. Belongs to my customer's wife. She has this black one. He has a white one. And he's a mechanic. Has a garage called Rev Hard Garage. I'm not sure I don't think that's his day job, but anyway. This thing, ladies and gentlemen, has a cam in it. And in one of my previous videos, when I had it here the first time, I cranked it up. And she drag races this thing, y'all. She's a hot rod mama, I'm telling you. And they're a great couple, fine people, got some really good kids. I met one of them. I think it was his son. But anyway, I did this thing about a year ago. And some of the product I put on here, I don't know if it went bad. I do not think it was improper prep, because I'm a beast about prepping properly. And I've used the same product on dozens of vehicles, including my own. Never had a problem out of it. But what happened, and I'm not going to call the product name because I don't want to call them out, because I'm just not sure what happened. But as a result of my conversations with them, they have now changed the directions on their website to reflect my experiences, and also they sent me a fresh batch of it just in case it was a bad batch, which is possible, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I'll zoom in just a little bit here. And the main reason he brought this over here was to fix that. And that included all this, around the windows, the trim, all this, that, pillar post, all the way up front here. I don't know, the computer's not on. And the plastic on the mirrors, and I didn't take a good photo before because I was just so disgusted with the whole situation. Happy to redo it for him, but the plastic had turned literally white. I mean literally. They were almost white mirrors. So long story short, it involved hours and hours and hours and hours of wet sanding and polishing and blah 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 blah. And when I got through with all that, when the car first got here, I gave it a pretty good strip wash and decon, because I don't know what they've been doing to maintain what I had done to it previously, which it got a pretty heavy paint correction when it was in here before, and I believe it got the 8-month sealant, which is long gone. I don't know what he might have put on it since then. I forgot to ask him. It didn't matter. And anyway, so then what I did was go around the entire vehicle after I strip washed it, and after I worked on all that, and of course it made a heck of a mess, and I went all the way around the car again and used the McKee's 37 rinseless wash, the one that does not leave anything behind. And then I went around the entire vehicle with a high level quick detailer, which you cannot purchase on retail level. You must order. And the reason I'm showing you this photo is that, it still looks pretty darn good from a few feet back. and that quick detailer returned some of the shine and gloss to it that it had not really maintained all that well over the past year. Like it lives outside, so it gets hammered, which would be a perfect candidate for that TMR titanium coating, which is specifically designed for cars that have to get outside, that get hammered a lot, that are either up north where they use a lot of salt on the roads, or close to the ocean where you get a lot of salt. It is specifically made to repel all that stuff. That's what I have on my car and have put it on several cars in the interim. But anyway, so while I was putting on the quick detailer and going around the car, and I'm a few feet back here on purpose, you know, from about 4 foot back, the 4 foot test as I call it, it still looks pretty darn good. But when I was putting it on in this area here and over towards this area where you see my pointer going back towards this way, something had gotten up on these vertical panels. I couldn't really tell what it was. And all that sparkly stuff, you see, that's the metal flake in the paint. But what I'm pointing to here, here, and here is whatever that contaminant was that got onto the paint. It was, all of it was on just a little bit of this panel, not much, but about half of this front passenger side door. And I was like, uh-oh, man. And I'm just pointing to some more of it there. You can see there's pretty big splotches of it there. Like I said, I couldn't tell what it was. It was almost clear, but not quite. So at first I suspected road tar mixed with something. That's what it could have been. I'm just not sure. But here is a photograph after I'm finished here, and I'm up pretty darn close to the paint. And you can see I have gotten rid of all of it and returned the shining gloss to this paint, at least on the door. I'm waiting on him to decide what he wants me to do. If he wants me to go back around the entire vehicle again with a minimum of a all-in-one or a one-step. Look at that shining gloss back, folks. That's what you can do when a paint's not horrible with just a one-step. I mean, that's a mirror image right there. And that's up close. And there's the polish that I used. 3D Speed, they call it. And you can see how it describes itself. And it leaves some protection behind. Not a heck of a lot. It's not going to last very long. Month and a half, depending on how you maintain your vehicle and what method you use to wash it with and all that kind of stuff. I use it in certain situations, but normally I'm not using this stuff, but I do keep it in my arsenal. It is good for some stuff. I hear that thunder out there, holy cow. And at first what I did on those contaminants or that splash up, whatever it was on that door, first thing I did was treat it with Citral 266 diluted 4:1, and it got a lot of it off, but it wouldn't get it all. So then I resorted to clay barring it with, as you can plainly see, an aggressive grade clay bars. Clay bars come in different grades: mild, medium, and aggressive. And it worked like a charm. Didn't take me very long, and after I got through clay barring, then I had to, of course, polish it with that 3D Speed, and I used my Flex, a little Flex. It's not really a mini polisher, but a small polisher, cordless. Love this thing, folks. And a orange Lake Country pad, which is a medium cut pad, and it's most commonly used with an all-in-one or a one-step when that's really all you're going to do to a vehicle. It'll do some cutting, but it's not as aggressive as cutting pads. You basically have 3 kinds of pads. You have cutting pads, which is the big wool pads, and some foam pads to it that you see oftentimes. And then you'll have medium pads like this one, and then you'll have really soft pads, which are your final polish. But that wasn't what I was doing here. I was just doing this one step. So that's just giving you guys an idea of some of what I used. Okay, I know what you're thinking, folks. Mike. All right, let's see what it looks like real time. Okay, let's walk out to my garage, shall we? Hopefully we don't get hit by no lightning or nothing. We had some loud thunder. We'll walk out here and I'll let you guys take a look at it real time. Well, yeah, babies. She's looking pretty darn good, at least from back here. Like I say, I did strip wash it down and decon it, chemically deconned it. And there's some of my high quality towels I was using the other day when I was putting this quick detail on. Folks, I've tried literally dozens and dozens of quick detailers, and you cannot beat this one. You can Google that, Dallas paint coatings. You can order it yourself, and it's not prohibitively expensive. And quick detail is good for when you're just kind of in a hurry, or you want to use it as a drying aid. Don't Google drying aids, you're not going to find any. But there are many products you can use as drying aids. If you're interested in that, shoot me a message. But as you can see, that quick detailer, after I did the rinseless wash on it to clean up my mess from my other work, I went around it with the quick detailer, and it made it look pretty darn good. Of course, like I said, a year ago, I did heavy duty paint correction on this thing, and some of that's still hanging in there, some of it isn't. I'm not sure what they've done to maintain it. Yeah, like I said earlier, those mirrors had turned absolutely white. No chemical, nothing would fix that. What I had to do was meticulously tape all that off, including the glass on the mirror, this glass over here, everything. And I used a little bitty tape and then overlapped it with the wide tape and then draped it with plastic. I draped the whole front end, the windshield, all the way over the wheels and tires, and painted it. And it turns out okay. Not perfect, but it's a 10-15-year-old vehicle that's been hammered pretty hard over time. But I mean, it's pretty acceptable for a daily driver. I mean, she does drive this thing on a regular basis. It's not garage kept, so. And it's been pretty hammered over time. I'm pretty happy with the way the rubber trim and all that came out. It took a lot of work getting that stuff off of there. Nothing, again, would chemically remove it. And in talking to the manufacturer, they said they were not aware of any chemical that would remove it. So it was back to wet sanding with light grades and a soft touch. You had to go little by little by little. And it got, I'd say, 98% off. But this is our fending door I was talking about earlier in the photographs. And I'll get up close. And I got all of that stuff, whatever it was, off. Every bit of it. A little bit of Central 266. Couple passes with an aggressive clay bar, which of course marred the paint. It went all the way down. It was some up under the door handle here. It's heavier right in this area and a little bit there, but it kind of got spread out as it went back. So apparently she ran through something on the highway and had the big concentration up front, and as the stuff flowed back, y'all hear that thunder? It got lighter and lighter and spread out. And you could tell it had come from the wheel area because of the way, the globs were big on here and then smaller as you went back. So that tells me they were slung this way. I don't know what it was from. I'm still not sure. But the fact of the matter is it's gone now. Oh, I don't even want to climb up there. I called him about that. The mirror, the glass up there, And that roof, whew, it's gotten really bad again. Really bad. But I think she came out looking okay. Most people would drive this, no questions asked. I'm telling you folks, the best quick detailer on the market. And I've tried many of them. Many. I'm not saying I've tried them all, but I've tried many of them. But she's looking pretty good, pretty good. Not bad, not bad. You know, for what I call a quick cleanup, I cleaned the glass with just Sonex glass cleaner. Some of it could use clay barring again and polishing again. But, you know, when he comes to get this thing, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I called him yesterday. And he's trying to decide if they want me to do more to this vehicle than what I've already done. And that's fine. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Make a little extra grocery money will be fine by me. Well, and these pillar posts, I believe that this were my vehicle. These pillar posts, there's some damage down here. You know, these car wash brushes, they do damage. Especially this stuff. This is El Cheapo paint. Very fragile. Doesn't hold up well at all if it's not maintained. I would either paint them or wrap them. You know, vinyl wrap them in a glossy or a semi-gloss black. A lot of people just wrap them. And it's so much easier. Because it's hard to get, you know, if you're using a rattle can, it's hard to get it to come out good and even. You know, they do what they're designed to do. But if you had a small, you know, sprayer and an air compressor and know how to do all that, that might be the way to go. I'm not sure, but it'd be much easier, I think, just to wrap them in vinyl. You know, they have make whole car wraps in vinyl nowadays, and it looks pretty good on some car. And there's a time and a place for those. Ugh. I had to pull. That's all the pads I've cleaned so far. And they've been laid out on this thing to dry. Of course, I had to bring it in again. There's my containers of pads over there. You can see I've probably got dozens and dozens of pads over there that are just waiting to be used. Different sizes. And I still got a few to do. There's a few there, polishing pads. I got a few soaking in this cleaning solution there. Be alright. Alright folks, just wanted to do a quick video on this. So y'all can kind of sort of see. And these are my new, what I call wipe off towels. That's what they call twisted loop. Extremely soft, very absorbent. It's basically a smaller version of these, which this is the granddaddy drying towel that I like to use. It's called a Slurpee. This one's a little smaller than that one. It's called a Slurpee Junior. And this is called a mini Slurpee. Hey, somebody's finally tuned in to watching. These all come from Aqualux Detailing Supplies, which is closely associated with this company. Matter of fact, the owner of this one mentored this guy, young fella, ex-Marine, wife, couple kids. Him and his wife and his kids are the company. So you're not dealing with a big corporation. In fact, the last time I ordered some of these, just on his own accord, he doubled my order at no extra charge. And I thought he'd made a mistake, so I called him. I think I contacted him on the internet. At any rate, I talked to him about it, and I was going to pay for them. You know, it was fine. But he said, no, I just put those in there to help you out and just to give back a little bit. Folks, this is my new wipe-off towel for when I'm doing paint correction, or if I'm, you know, wiping off quick detailer. They're mini drying towels, but they are very extremely versatile. I'm planning on using them on the interiors. If I'm drying a car down, I'll use the big boy. Just one towel right here, folks, will absorb 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of water, so you could literally dry several vehicles with it before you had to grab another one. This is just for drying smaller areas or smaller cars, because sometimes this one gets a little bunglesome when you're in smaller places or on small verticals, and it's easier just to grab one of these because you don't have to worry about all this dangling down everywhere. And they are big. And folks, there again, trust me. Hey, Teresa! Ooh, that lightning drowned me out. Holy cow. Ooh, there again, folks, I have tried literally dozens of drying towels. Some are okay. Some of the retail level ones are okay, but none of them have touched the quality of these, nor do anything that's close in quality come close to the price of these. And man, these things are useful. I use them in the house. Man, I use them for all kind of stuff. Like I say, I don't even use the little mini ones for drying. I use them as a wipe-off towel or something to wipe off dust with. Anyway, there's the door I'd worked on. I just couldn't, Teresa. I just couldn't. That wasn't in this deal, but I couldn't leave that stuff on there. I just could not. I was going to wait and point it out to him when he got here and see if he wanted to pay me to do it. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to get that crap off of that paint before it ruins it. Because they're busy couple. They have all kind of stuff going on. Jobs, kids, all that kind of stuff. You remember how that is, Teresa, I'm sure. So who knows when they'll be able to get it back over here if they decided to do that. So I went ahead and did that. Now the one thing I am going to have to leave him to make a decision on is possibly doing the roof, because it is hammered. I can't stand up that high. And the rest of this paint could all use a one-step. And may have to be some parts of it may have to be clay art, I don't know. And that will return the gloss and shine back to the way this one is, this door. Although I blended them pretty good, and it's not a humongous difference, but all the contaminants on this door, Teresa, are now gone, and it's been polished. So this one will stand up for a very long time. Back here on these parts that still look shiny, what you have are shiny scratches and contaminants. And all that will get worse. The longer you wait, the worse it will get. And pretty soon, there will be a glaring difference between the rest of this vehicle and this door. But yeah, that's the decision. It's just a matter of money, so I'll wait for him to make up his mind. It matters not to me. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Ooh, look at that, T. Is it raining like that up at your place? Holy mackerel. And I mean, we're getting some thunder, sweetie. Some thunder. Whew-wee. Scared me to death when it first came up. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was busy working on this, and I was sitting on that stove right there, Teresa. And that first big clap of thunder came, I like to fell off the damn stove. Dropped my buffer. I'm glad I wasn't on camera then. It would have been really comical. Turn this into a comedy hour. All right, folks, I appreciate you. I think you can see the windows of glass is spotted back up again. That's from it sitting outside, getting rained on probably. And all that water dries. There's chemicals in that water. That, you figure that rainwater, that's supposed to be clean water. But as it falls down through the atmosphere, it picks up crap on its way down. And by the time it gets down here, it's dirty water. I read an article where some chemist went out and got some water out of the road gutter thing out there, tested it, and came up with like 20-something different chemicals in that water. So it's not clean when it gets here. All right, I'm going to go. I got me some, I was going to say, decide what I want for supper. But I've already got it cooking in the crock pot, some barbecue pork chops. Alrighty then, thanks for dropping by. Appreciate everybody. You know what they say, T? Like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. All right, baby doll. We'll catch y'all later. Have a great weekend now. Bye.